Hello dear friends. Welcome back to the channel. This is the place where we turn silent English learners into confident English speakers. If you understand English but still cannot speak smoothly, this video will change the way you think forever. Because your problem is not vocabulary. It is what your brain is doing before you speak. Most people believe they are bad at English. They blame their grammar. They blame their pronunciation. They blame their school. But almost nobody talks about the real reason they freeze in conversations. The real issue is hidden. It happens silently inside your mind in just a few seconds. And those few seconds decide whether you speak confidently or stay quiet. Today, I am going to show you what is actually blocking your fluency and how one small shift in thinking can make your English faster, smoother, and more natural. Stay with me, because once you see this, you will never practice English the same way again. The translation trap that is slowing you down. Let me introduce you to Lana. Lana grew up speaking her native language. That is the language she thinks in, feels in, and reacts in. English is something she learned later in school. She understands it well. She can read articles. She watches English videos without much difficulty. On the surface, it looks like she is ready to speak fluently. But the moment someone asks her a simple question like, "What did you do today?" something changes. She pauses. Her mind becomes busy. Not empty, just overloaded. The question enters in English, but instantly her brain converts it into her native language. She prepares the answer there first. Then she tries to translate that answer back into English. While doing that, she checks grammar. She rearranges words. She worries about sounding wrong. All of this happens in a few seconds, but those seconds feel heavy. Because of this process, Lana is always slightly behind in conversations. Others respond quickly. She is still forming her sentence. By the time she speaks, the topic has already shifted. This delay makes her feel awkward. After a few similar experiences, she starts believing something that is not true. She tells herself, "My English is weak." But her English is not weak. Her habit is. Translation makes your brain do double work for a single sentence. It is like trying to run while carrying extra weight. You can move, but not smoothly. Native speakers do not translate. Their thoughts and words are connected in the same language. Lana's thoughts start in her native language and then travel to English. That travel time creates hesitation. The more she translates, the stronger this habit becomes. Her brain depends on it. Even when she knows the English sentence, she waits for the internal translation first. And that waiting creates doubt. The real problem is not vocabulary. It is not grammar. It is the gap between thought and speech. And that gap is created by translation. Once you understand this, you stop blaming your ability and start fixing the real issue. Rewiring your brain for direct English thinking. Now that Lana understands the problem, she decides to change the way she practices. Not by learning harder words, but by changing how she responds. The first thing she does is reduce sentence length. Instead of building long, perfect answers, she trains herself to respond in short, clear lines. When someone asks, "How was your weekend?" she does not search for a detailed story. She says, "It was relaxing." Or, "I met a friend." Simple. Fast. Done. This removes pressure and teaches her brain to respond without translating. Next, she practices instant reactions. Every day, she asks herself random questions and answers immediately. What are you doing right now? She answers without pause. I am watching this video. I am sitting in my room. No thinking in her native language first. If she hesitates, she forces herself to speak anyway. The goal is speed, not perfection. Then she adds a powerful exercise. She starts describing her environment in English. While walking, she says, "The road is busy. The weather feels warm. People are talking." This builds a direct connection between what she sees and English words. Slowly, her brain stops depending on translation and starts forming thoughts directly in English. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Her sentences are basic. But something important begins to change. Her response time becomes shorter. She stops freezing during small talk. She feels lighter while speaking. Lana realizes something simple but powerful. Fluency is not about complicated vocabulary. It is about removing delay. When the gap between thought and speech becomes smaller, confidence grows naturally. And once that gap starts closing, conversations no longer feel scary. They start feeling possible. The silent habit that slows your progress. Even after Lana started practicing fast responses, she noticed something else holding her back. It was not translation this time. It was her fear of making mistakes. Every time she spoke, a small voice in her head said, "What if this is wrong?" That voice made her slow down again. She would begin a sentence confidently, then stop midway to correct herself. She would replace simple words with harder ones just to sound smarter. And in that effort to sound perfect, she lost her natural flow. She realized that she was trying to impress instead of communicate. This is a common trap. Many learners believe fluency means speaking like a news reporter or using advanced vocabulary in every sentence. But real conversations are simple. People speak in short sentences. They repeat words. They correct themselves. They focus on meaning, not perfection. So, Lana changed one more habit. She gave herself permission to make small mistakes. If she said something slightly wrong, she continued speaking instead of stopping. If she forgot a word, she explained it using easier words. Instead of freezing, she kept moving. Something powerful happened after that. Her conversations became smoother, not because she was perfect, but because she stopped interrupting herself. Her confidence started growing from action, not from flawless grammar. She understood that hesitation is often self-created. The more you judge yourself while speaking, the slower you become. But when you focus only on sharing your message, your words begin to flow naturally. And that is when speaking English stops feeling like a test and starts feeling like communication. When speaking becomes natural. After changing her habits, Lana noticed a quiet but powerful shift. Conversations no longer felt like a performance. They felt normal. Earlier, every discussion felt like an exam. She would measure every word. She would search for the best sentence. Now, she focused on staying present. When someone spoke to her, she listened carefully instead of preparing a perfect reply in advance. And when it was her turn, she responded with whatever clear sentence came first. She also stopped comparing herself to fluent speakers. Instead of thinking, "They speak better than me," She started thinking, I am improving every time I speak. That small change in mindset reduced pressure. And when pressure goes down, fluency goes up. The biggest transformation was this. She began enjoying conversations. She laughed more. She asked more questions. She stayed engaged instead of worrying about mistakes. And because she stayed engaged, her responses became faster and more natural. Fluency did not arrive in one big moment. It grew slowly from daily action, from short responses, from less translation, from fewer self-judgments. And one day, she realized something surprising. She was no longer thinking about English while speaking. She was just speaking. That is the goal. Not perfection. Not advanced vocabulary. Just natural communication without fear. If you see yourself in Lana's story, understand this clearly. You are not behind. You are not bad at English. You have simply been practicing the wrong way. The moment you stop translating, stop overcorrecting, and stop waiting to feel perfect, your progress becomes faster. Fluency is not built in silence. It is built in small, daily conversations where you choose to speak even when it feels uncomfortable. Remember, every confident English speaker you admire once struggled with hesitation. The only difference is they kept speaking. Your journey does not change when your vocabulary changes. It changes when your habits change. Start today. Speak simply. Speak quickly. Speak anyway. Like this video if you are ready to stop translating and start speaking confidently. Share this video with a friend who understands English but struggles to speak. Subscribe to the channel if you want to become a fearless English speaker. Comment one fast English sentence about your day without overthinking. Turn on the bell icon so you never miss the next confidence-building video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.